Hi, I'm Mike Thompson. In this video, I'm going to rebuild the DeWalt Lithium 20 volt max battery. I did the NiCad 18 volt battery back a couple years ago. I have since converted to the 20 volt system. These batteries, though, that I bought have a date code of 2016. These black ones have a date code of 2014. These yellow ones here are rated at 2 amp hours. So what I'm going to do is replace these with either similar or better cells. So this is really exciting. Let's get going on this one. So these screws turned out to be T10 security Torx. There were 4 of them on the bottom. Hope I don't lose them. So these batteries are inside of a little holder, and this little screwdriver is the only one I had that could get in here. Hopefully I can pry this out because it's glued down or something, and I haven't figured out. But it seems like it's coming now. Yeah, it sounds like glue. You hear that? Yeah. Okay, it's coming out. Whew. There we go. All right. Yeah, some sort of glue. I may take that out. We'll see. Well, there it is. You've got 5 cells all in a nice little row. This little holder is pretty nice. But now we've got to disassemble this, take those cells out of that. So now this glue seems pretty stuck, so I'm going to leave that. And now I got to get these out of here. We've got to break those tabs off and then shove them out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start to desolder all these little wires so that I can remove this from these, and then I'm going to break these tabs off here. But first, let's break all these connections. Starting with this one. These are the little balance wires. That's a springy little dude. Hold him out while that sets so that he doesn't try to reattach like he did before. Okay, here's that one. Let's go ahead and get the positive and negative wires loose. Okay. Spin this around, do the same thing with the negative wire now. Let that set up. So I can let this go and not. Okay. Get this little balance wire over here. This one here. Okay. So I think I've got all my connections broken, which there are 6. There are 4 of these little balance wires, which then go to these terminals up here. And then, yep, okay. And then the 2 obviously positive and negative main wires that go to the copper terminals on each side of the battery. Okay, so now what I've got to do is get the cells out of this plastic holder. In order to do that, I'm going to have to cut the tabs. So let me see if I can either break them or cut them or what. I'm not sure yet. Let me go back to the one I started earlier on this side. Can I rip it? What am I doing here? Okay, let me cut that with some tin snips. Sever this connection here and here. Yeah, that worked. And I can probably pull these out. Sure can. Okay. Let's see, that one's the one attached. So this one has to go this way. This is the negative. negative cell. These cells are just so old that they're just no good. They cannot hold a charge anymore. Okay, so there's that. So now I'm going to put my new cells back inside there. Positives here, positive, negative, and just weave my way through until I end up with negative down here in this bottom corner. Cool. Let's do that. Okay. So this end's positive, so we're going to slide that in there like that. Let's hope these ones fit. These batteries have the little positive nub that the other ones did not have. The other ones were flat tops. Let's see if these are going to fit. Nope, they're not. So inside here, there are little tabs which protrude from the side. If I grind these down, this might fit. And it might be worth trying on one of them, because I have no other use for these batteries at the moment. So I got these new batteries here from the 18650 battery store online, and these are flat tops. The positive terminal is still convex, but it's sunk down inside there. So hopefully these fit inside here. Ah, and they do. Look at that. So they're going to go in just like so. All right. So with these batteries, I'm simply going to insert them here. And I got enough to build two of these. So positive, negative, because remember it's going to flow like this in a zigzag pattern. Positive, negative, and the last one here, positive. So that my negative tab ends up over here, attached to this wire, and my positive tab is going to go right here. And then, tabs in between. This is perfect. All right, well, let's do a test fit before I do any other work, because we certainly don't want to mess this up. Boom, look at that. That little battery indicator goes down in there. That's good. I may actually dig out that white glue and put new in, but I might not. And there we have it. Now, this has been a project months in the making. I have since lost the spring that holds this up, so I'll replace that spring with one of mine Harbor Freight storehouse springs. So before I do much, though, let me go ahead. Let's check the charge on these batteries. So they're all at 3.4, okay? These are INR 18650-30Q. They're the Samsung brand, Samsung SDI 141. These were highly recommended, and because they fit, I'm highly recommending these. We'll see how they perform here in a little bit. But now, let's get these batteries tabbed up and welded. Okay. Get my battery spot welder. I bought this off of Banggood a couple weeks ago for this project, but Alex has since used it for several of his own projects, and so it's been really good. We have thoroughly enjoyed this thing. It came with some tabbing wire, which is great. It charges. It's portable, and it charges through USB. It takes a couple hours, but what it is it's basically a couple lithium batteries running through circuits, capacitors and things, and it's super simple. You plug in your two electrodes here, turn it on, now I can set my power. Double tap, 4, that may be a little bit much, so let's cycle through my settings here. Single push. We'll start with power 3. I don't want to burn holes in my tabbing wire. Double tap to get out. And there we go. When I get solid green, it will fire anytime it senses good contact on these electrodes. There's another mode where it'll fire every second and a half, and that alternates between green and, here we go, bang, bang. But it's basically just either 2 quick taps or a short tap to change the modes, and then a long hold to turn it on or off. But with solid green, you can see my battery here though now is down to 3. It's not up to 4 anymore, because we've used this a little bit for some of Alex's battery packs. But when it's solid green, it'll fire anytime it senses good contact. Say about there. And let me go ahead and do that. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Well, that's kind of a gnarly cut. Let's fix that. I want this to look nice. Yeah, actually be nice. All right. So on power 3, here, let's go ahead and give it a shot. I'll do my positive terminal first. I'll put one electrode down to hold the tab, and then once I hit this, I've got about 1 second before it fires. There you go. And let's do 2 more over here in a little, like a cross pattern. Boom. That didn't go anywhere. And this one, I can just do a couple parallel, maybe 6 parallel shots. I'll do 1 more. Oh, this is great, guys. Okay. That tab is done. Now let's confirm that's good by measuring the voltage here. 6.88. How about that? All right. We'll continue on down the line. It does. Awesome. You can see how quick this goes. This little device is awesome. It was about $50, like I said, off of Banggood. And I was skeptical. I thought, well, I'm going to build my own spot welder from a microwave transformer. I thought, well, no, let me just buy something. I didn't realize that it was actually battery powered and portable, which is really, really handy. It was about $50, I think. Totally, totally worth it with as much as Alex and I have used this. Like I said, I bought it specifically for this project, but we've used it for several others already. So I got to have enough to get to my positive up here. So about there should be fine. And then this is going to get soldered too, obviously. Okay. Man, I love this. This little spot welder is just absolutely amazing. Love it. I wish I'd had this when I rebuilt the 18-volt pack several years ago. Okay. That looks good. Okay, I'll bend that over. Yeah. Oh, I could have left myself a little more room, I suppose. So now this one, the negative lead is far shorter than the positive. So remember they had that extended tab that went all the way down and around. So I'm going to have to do this. I think what I'll do is just fold my tab, actually. So let me do that. Let me cut plenty of tab, and then I'll trim it after the fact, because it'll be easier to work with if it's a little bit shorter than this entire roll. 2 more. This is just so much fun. Okay, that's not going anywhere. And then I'm going to fold it over on itself at a 90 degrees, like so, and come right underneath this negative wire. Perfect. It's almost like they didn't design it that way, but that did exactly what I wanted it to. And so then I'm going to solder that to that, and I'm going to solder that to that. My positive tab's a little shorter, but it's no big deal. All right. Okay, and so now all that's left to do is solder these wires to these tabs. I'm going to melt some on here so that I can make an easy connection. Push this sucker down in there. He doesn't want to go. What's he stuck on? Oh, he's got a big blob over here that needs to melt off. There we go. Piece of cake there. Just put a big puddle there on that. Actually, that probably already made the connection, I think. And then force my wire down into it. There I go. And so I've cut some little tab here, and then I've sliced it down the middle so that it's thin. I don't need a super big wide tab. I'm going to slip it under the balance wire so that rests on there like that, and then I'll fold it down over these. And then I'm probably going to spot weld this actually here in a second. But first what I'm going to do is get all these little tabs soldered in place. That guy's standing proud there. He didn't want to go down. I'll make him go down. Okay, so there's all that. Let me get these soldered up real quick. This should be a piece of cake. One. So there we go. Now I can fold these down over here. And let's see. Let me break out the spot welder one more time and give that a try. Yep, awesome. Okay. Get this one here. Flip them over. Do this side. Okay. I'm going to say that's pretty much good as new. Stick it all back together. That goes there. That goes there. Nice fit. Okay. Now, I said I lost that spring, so I'm going to go get another spring real quick. Harbor Freight Special. Looks like it'll work. Something is misaligned. There it goes. How about that? So before I screw it together, though, I'd like to test it. So let's put this thing in here. Let's see if it goes. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's amazing. All right. That's all screwed together. Now, these screws in the bottom of this battery pack are a T10 security Torx. They've got the little hole in the end. So beware of that. You can't just do them with regular Torx. Make sure they're all nice and tight. And then Alex welded up the second pack for me and helped me with all the soldered connections.
Next tab.
That is amazing. These batteries are originally rated at 2 amp hours. They're now 3 amp hours with the new Samsung 18650 cells. So they're even better than before. And those Samsung cells were top rated. So I'm super pumped about these. I did this for about 50 bucks total. A new battery costs $100. So I'm going to get more cells and do these 2 black batteries. And I'll be able to do all 4 of these rebuilds for the price of a single new battery. And it's pretty darn fun with that spot welder from Banggood. That thing is worth its weight in gold. Yeah, definitely worth its weight in gold. This is a super fun project. It was educational. I had a lot more fun doing this one than I did the NiCad pack several years ago. This is something you can definitely do yourself. Just don't be afraid to try. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Mike Thompson, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. That's cool.